Make an adjustment. I think we're such a bad team at making adjustments. Don't make any adjustments. That's why they kept attacking a soft zone we played. Second down and 17. Well, they got 16 of it back. Third down and 11, they get 14 yards. Why? Because he just threw the ball underneath 8 yards. Just, hey, bro, it wasn't even a play. Bro, go run out 8 yards, turn around, I'll hit you. And then run with the ball. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Giants never, ever adjusted that, and they never clamped down on it. And again, our corners are better press corners, and they play zone. It's like they go away from every guy's strength on this team, and they just say, let's play their weak. Let's have a game plan for everybody's weakness. This is why I'm down on Dable. I don't understand the game plan. I just don't. I don't understand the moves. I don't claim to be an NFL coach or an analyst or any of that shit. I'm just a fan. But I mean, my God, if I see something's not working, I'm going to change it no matter what the hell I'm doing. So, shit. I mean, if I'm bowling and I'm a down and in guy and I like to go straight up the second arrow and that's not working, and I'm like, well, I might have to go out of my comfort zone and play a different angle. I got to do it. So if you're not scoring, do something else. You got to have some kind of backup plan, don't you? And that goes to Anthony's point of lack of preparation. You had the first year that these guys were there. I remember Chris and I would do the show at Patty, and we'd be talking about how prepared they were. They had like an A plan, a B plan, a C plan. It's like if something happened, they didn't shrug it. They just went and moved on to the next thing, and it was successful. I don't know what happened to that. I don't understand at all. Our guy asked VP Williams, what coaches do we want to keep? I was thinking maybe Andre Patterson, interim head coach. He can't be worse. Take anyone to this chat and they wouldn't be worse.
I was wondering about that. If someone is I had this conversation too with my crazy family Giants group chat. And we were saying, like, if they end up firing Dable mid-year, which I don't really think that they do, she was worried that they would have Bowen be the head coach. But my thought process was it's going to be Kafka because he's the assistant head coach now. But I look through some of the coaches and the positions, and I'm like, I don't know. Has Mike Rowe made that much of a difference for the wide receivers? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they fired Dable mid-year, especially with Jackson Dart starting. Yeah. That's the main reason why Dable got this job to begin with. I think you give Dable the year with Dart and you see how he does, but I definitely could see Dable not seeing next year. And if his question is what coaches see next year, that's going to depend on the outlook of this team, man. If Dable loses his job and Shane loses their job, everybody loses their job. I mean, you may see one or two positional coaches come back, and maybe Patterson would be one of them, but it's not like the interior defensive line looked very good. I know he's got a great reputation, and we all praised him his first year here with the elevation we saw in Dex's game, and I know he's a really good defensive line coach, but I think all coaches are probably going to be looking for jobs if you end up, flipping everything over at the end of the year. Hopefully it doesn't come to that point. Hopefully we bring the whole coaching staff back. That would mean we had a fairly successful year. But I'd be surprised if Dable gets fired mid-year this year, especially due to the fact that we have Jackson Dart, in his first year as a quarterback.
I wouldn't be shocked. If this team continues to be this unprepared, make this many boneheaded mistakes, and look this bad for the next 8 weeks, I wouldn't be shocked if there's midseason firings, because at least the argument that we make for Dart is we want to get him out there at some point so we can get an idea of what he is so that we can plan accordingly going into next year. I think you could also make that same argument for Mike Kafka. You would want to see him audition for that role for a few weeks because he is such a highly sought after candidate for head coaching jobs around the league. He's done plenty of head coaching interviews. Seems like everybody around the league thinks that the Giants are holding on to a golden goose except for the New York Giants, right? Everybody's interested in Mike Kafka. I know, Chris, you think that there might be other reasons that teams interview him, but I think that Kafka potentially could be a good coach, and I wouldn't want to go through the entire year knowing we're going to blow it up at the end of the year, potentially, fire everybody, clean house, do it midseason, give Kafka the chance to audition since he's gotten all these interviews. And if he does well, then you know what, maybe he can be an option next year, although I don't think
the only way Kafka comes back is if you don't fire Shane. In that scenario, right? I mean, if you bring in a new GM, you're stuck.
Not necessarily. I think,
yeah,
possibly, but I don't think necessarily. I mean, what if you bring in a new GM from? So let's use Seattle's front office as an example. Seattle tried to hire Kafka as a head coach and as an offensive coordinator. They wanted to hire him as an offensive coordinator in a lateral move because they think so highly of him, and the Giants blocked that and made him assistant head coach. Just imagine a world where the Giants, and again, it's just to open yourself up to any possibility. If the Giants take somebody out of Seattle's front office and he's the new GM, maybe he's like, I loved Kafka in our interviews. He just did a great job in the final 4 weeks of the season with this Giants team. Maybe they go ahead and hire him. So I'm just saying you got to leave your options open, but you also you got to give the coach a chance to audition is what I'm saying, which is why if you know you're going to fire Dable at the end of the season, do it like a month before the season ends just so you can get an idea of what you have.
You know who would love to see Mike Kafka become the head coach?
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Marcus Bowe. He would love it. He threw the touchdown pass to him.
Right. He tried to do a touchdown pass and we didn't. But I agree with Anthony in that aspect. Reason being, you might as well, because just take a look. Either you have your head coach next year, if Kafka did do a really good job, and Jackson Dart's obviously familiar with Mike Kafka, so perhaps that's what you want to do. And if he stinks, then you're dumping him. But if he's good, then you have your head coach and you can go on from there. And you don't really have to make a lot of adjustments because he knows the system. He's going to have his own system. Dart's going to be used to him. So it wouldn't be that much of a setback for Jackson Dart. Now, if Kafka is the head coach, Kafka, you say potato, I say potato. Nobody says potato, but that is the song. Anyway, if he stinks and they both stink, then you're probably sweeping everything under the carpet. It's all over. So, yeah, you might as well let him audition. And if you see that he's really bad, then you start preparing for next year. You start looking at head coaches. You start looking at other GMs. You start looking at everything else. What a shitty spot to be talking about.
I don't want to be talking about
week one.
Yeah, I don't want to be talking about this.
Horrible.
So brutal.
I'd be stunned. I'd be stunned if Dable gets fired this year in season. Obviously, after the season, I wouldn't be stunned at all. But in season,
Giants fan, that's terrible. What did we do to deserve this? Must have made somebody mad. Big Moo, the legendary Big Moo. Thank you, buddy. He says, I think we stay with Russ until we're 4 games under 500. But what do I know? I'm just a stupid delusional fan that always has hope. It's most of us. It's most of us. We're all pretty. We got to be stupid if you root for this team. Gotta be. There's something not right. Something's not right with us. Chris B, thank you, bro. CeeDee Lamb's going for 180 and 2 touchdowns after last week's drops.
Probably.
I'm not playing on fantasy football this week. I'll tell you that.
You know, Dak's going to run up his stats against us this week because he didn't put up good stats against the Eagles. Yeah,
of course.
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Saraf Network, thank you, man. He says, if Tomlin had this roster, how does this team do? We're probably 11-6.
I was going to say, I'd feel very confident in it that we'd be at least 9-8.
We'd be I don't know that he's ever had a losing season.
I'd say 8 or 9 wins if we had Tomlin as the head coach, which, I think he'd hover us right around 500.
I don't know.
I think we go to the playoffs. He just went to the playoffs last year with Russell Wilson.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they have a better overall roster than we do. They have a better overall defense. They could actually defend the run. They have a better offensive line than we do.
They do, but he's in the AFC and we're in the NFC, and I think
true.
the NFC is less competitive than the AFC.
Yeah. He's a great coach.
And he plays in a tough division. That division's tough.
Yeah.
So
Tomlin's
he knows what he's doing. Tomlin's one of the best. One of the best. You know what else is the best? Sleeper. Check out Sleeper, guys. Like I said, click that link in the description and get a 100% match deposit bonus up to $100. Use that promo code HMA. We have a quick 30-second bumper here from Sleeper. Check it out. Be back after this.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Yes, sir. Check out Sleeper. Bob, thank you, brother. Have the Giants learned nothing for the Seahorn kick return. Baddog knows. I know what you're talking about. And how about Dory Jackson? He's another one.
Yep.
We don't learn. This is why we constantly suck. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And I'm just scrolling through these because the super chats usually pop up in separate spots. And they're not doing that tonight. So I have to scroll through their chat. So if I missed anyone, I don't think I did, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I don't want to see that. It ruined Seahorn's career. And that was in a preseason game against the Jets because in 97, the Giants made the postseason, but they had no offense because Danny Cannell was a damn quarterback and Chris Callaway couldn't handle a damn onside kick. I don't want to talk about this. It's bad enough. I don't need to relive when we were actually decent. That's one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever had to deal with. It's stupid 96. Giants they're going to put me in an early grave. It is what it is. Man Deep, thank you so much. What's up, guys? Been taking my 10-year-old son to the Giants game every time they're in Dallas, at least 5 years. Now I'm afraid he might come home a Cowgirls fan. He's been asking why we suck.
Poor kid.
Don't let him be a Cowboy. My kid already knows, even though the Giants stink and he doesn't really watch them, I always just let him know that you're a Giants fan. I let him know that. Don't tell him the Eagles, the Cowboys suck. And he knows to say that. So we
Man, Deep, just keep your kid away from the VCR and the VHS tapes, and you'll keep him. He won't be a Cowboys fan. Keep him away from the VHS tapes.
Yeah, don't worry. The Cowboys ain't won anything either. They just beat us. I mean, everybody beats us. Just tell them that we're just, we're hustling them. We're going to come out of nowhere and we're going to be a good team. So just tell him it's right around the corner. He's young, so you can kind of influence him. Just say, they're just having a bad year, but they'll be good next year. Just say we got Jackson Dart. Things are going to change. You lie to him he'll believe you for a while. When he gets to be, well, if we suck in 4 years and he's 14, well, God bless you. He probably is going to be a different.